So hi guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Sam, and the thing that I do on this channel is pretty much reacting to I create medicine videos. It's something that I recently started doing like 1 week ago, and I really enjoyed doing it because I enjoy getting exposed to different thoughts and also other people experiences. So that's one of the reasons why I still keep doing those kind of content. So I'm trying to do way much more to, of course, grow the channel and kind of like see and get to know what is the real reason why people are leaving medicine at the moment. Because I'm a pre-med student and I'm getting into it. So I do not have the opportunity to actually have a real talk with somebody who left, but I can go on their videos and kind of like understand their thought process and express how I feel about it. So let's go and do it. When it comes to those videos, so I do not watch them before, so it's gonna be like my first time watching them. So it's gonna be me reacting on lot online, not online, but like live. Like it's gonna be live reactions. So just wanted to clarify it, and I also wanted to add one thing before I start. So I'm not trying to devalorize not no, that's that not that. So I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad or trying to show that I'm better than anybody by doing this kind of videos. So I'm not trying to offend nobody, and if I say something which ended up offending you, so I just wanted to say that it was not my initial thought. That's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm just saying it just in case, even though I know that I'm not gonna do it, but just in case I do. So I'm not trying to offend nobody, so I'm just expressing the way that I feel on the videos and bring some feedbacks and other thoughts to other people who will later watch the video. So it's been 2 minutes already, so let's get into it. So we're gonna go and look on Brittany channel, and it's been 1 year since she left, or since she posted the video. So I did not really look into what she's doing right now, but apparently she's still doing stuff and posting pretty consistently. So shout out to Brittany Rose. So now we're gonna go and watch the video.
I hated it. But of course, I thugged it out. I'm a G. I got a couple of A's, couple of B's, couple of C's. C's get degrees. And all of a sudden, God was just like, yeah, you need to do it. I don't feel glad that I can have this, baby. Nobody else you. Nobody else makes me. Nobody else had a clue what I could do, what I could do.
Really nice intro. I like it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be sharing my story time. Yes, this is true. This is not clickbait. I'm not pulling a prank. I actually didn't leave medical school. So I'm just gonna give you guys the whole tea, the whole rundown on the situation, what actually led me to go to medical school, why I started to leave, the whole process, and hopefully this video will help you if you're debating about going to medical school, debating about leaving medical school, or just really like trying to decide a big decision in your life. Hopefully my process will encourage you and inspire you and help you do the same. Before we get started, make sure that you are following me on all my social medias.
She said something that I do not really like. She said, hopefully my experience with some kind of thing like that will inspire you to do the same. Not to do the same as living medicine, but I think what she meant was to do something for yourself, or actually ask yourself if you really want to do it. But I do not think that she want to say living just because we're watching this video, so you will know whether or not you will live or you want to live. So that's what she said, make it sound this way, but I don't think that's what she meant. So just saying.
I'm gonna start posting more lifestyle vlog type content since you guys have been asking for that. Also, make sure to check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting some products that help promote hair growth. Alrighty, well, let's get started. So I'm gonna start by just kind of quickly explaining why I decided to go to medical school in the first place, because I feel like that had a big part in why I actually decided to leave, ironically enough. Growing up, I was very smart. Like, I was in gifted from first grade all the way until graduating high school. I didn't get my first B until my sophomore year of college. I always made straight A's. I graduated high school with a 4.3, number 4 or 5 in my class, I think. So I was always on top of my work. A lot of people thought I was really smart because I enjoyed school, but it was actually the opposite. I hated school. I was just very competitive and wanted to be the best. That's why I made good grades. I have been...
Never heard of that, but that's probably a real thing because she's saying that's what she went through. I've never heard anybody saying that I hate schooling because I hate it. I'm just gonna try to be the best or be number one. But that might be how some people out there think, but that's the first time for me.
Interested in a variety of careers, and I've always found that they were more on the creative side. I always said I never wanted to have a career where I would do the same thing every single day, especially when it came to a desk job. Could not do it. I remember one time wanting to be a pastry chef, but my dad was like, pastry chefs don't make a lot of money. Okay, well, I'm trying to be independent. I don't want to depend on a man. I need to find a career that will make me more money. Even though, like I said, I really didn't enjoy school, science was the only subject I tolerated. Depending on which science I was taking determined whether I liked it or not. Usually the science with the least amount of math was my go-to because I hate math. But I really just liked experimenting and formulating and things like that. I had points where I wanted to be an engineer, a chemical engineer, I believe. I wanted to be like a food scientist, you know, just different things like that. I also had one point my freshman year of high school where I wanted to be a triple threat. Literally, I wanted to be a singer, actor, and a dancer. So, yeah. As my junior year,
Very nice plan.
approach, I kind of had to get real with myself and be like, okay, Brittany, you're about to go to college in a year. You need to decide what you want to do. Because I still had no idea, even though, like I said, I was getting straight A's, I was on track in extracurricular activities and leadership roles. I was, doing it. And I remember at the time I was watching Grey's Anatomy. I had just started watching the series. Like I said, science was the only subject that I somewhat liked. And so I was like, why not be a doctor? I mean, they make good money and you are moving around all the time. You're not doing the same thing all the time. Why not? So that's how I decided to be a doctor. So because of that, the summer before my senior year, I did this internship where I basically shadowed.
She said something about watching Grey's Anatomy, and she did not really go into it and really talk about it, and how maybe watching Grey's Anatomy was one of the reasons why that kind of pushed her to choose going to medicine. But I'm gonna say something which is an unpopular opinion. Watching Grey's Anatomy for the first time, I really do not know why people watching Grey's Anatomy for the first time or interested into going to medicine, because it's one of the most inaccurate things out there, and the only thing that those people generally be doing is having sex. I'll say almost all the time, and do really, really, really big trauma, and I really do not know why those kind of things attract people to go into medicine. It's probably me and I don't get it, but please, if you're watching Grey's Anatomy right now when you're yeah, I want to be a doctor, think about it. Really think about it.
A bunch of different fields of medicine over 3 weeks, and I shadowed surgery, ER, the cath lab, everything. And I remember at that time I had decided to be a surgeon because they make the most money, but after seeing my first surgeries, I saw a robotic hysterectomy and I saw a leg amputation. I wasn't about to pass out or anything, but it was gross. And I remember kind of forcing myself to find that it was kind of cool, because I had kind of decided that this is what I kind of want to do, so I had to kind of like it. Why am
I genuinely want to see a leg amputation right now, because I'm just asking, so how do they do it? Do they go when they cut the tissues and the skin and the tissues, the muscle around the bone, and then they cut the bone? or they literally have something will just cut everything at the same time. So I need to check that out. So that's one of the reasons why I really want to go and see one of those things, but I do not have the opportunity at the moment to go and watch one. But yeah, at least for me it's really cool. So that's one of the reason why I want to watch it, and I really want to like see the process behind it. But she also mentioned the fact that she had an internship that allows her to navigate between different fields of medicine. So this is a really good thing, I would say, for everybody interested into medicine. If you have the occasion to do this, like shadow different doctors, so this is something that you should definitely take, because you might end up realizing that medicine is something that you really want to do, and you might have an idea of what kind of doctor you want to become, even if with time and experience it might possibly change. And you might also realize that medicine is not something that you want to do. Like she said, she was watching a surgery on leg amputation, and she literally, I'm not gonna say literally, but she said that it was gross, so she did not really like it. But she forced herself to find that it was cool. So if you're going through this and you actually have the opportunity to shadow and see what kind of things that different doctors are doing, and if you do not like it, please don't try to force yourself and actually try to find the beauty out of it, because you're just not helping yourself and you're making things worse and hard for you to get out from. So if you don't like it, just straight up say I do not like it. But if you were there for one day or maybe for some hours, please finish your hours and ask those people questions and like see how they deal with it. So probably just one side of medicine that you do not like, such as surgery, and you might possibly find other field of medicine that you'll enjoy. So medicine is really vast, and there's a lot that you can do. But if you do not like it, just tell yourself that you do not like it. Don't try to force yourself to like it.
And kind of so much. And I remember at the time it was either me being a surgeon or me being an ER doctor, because ER doctors are constantly moving around and doing a bunch of different stuff. So again, didn't want a job where I did the same thing every single day. When I did shadow the emergency room, I shadowed a nurse. It was very fast paced and fun. The time flew by. So moving on to graduating high school, I majored in biology like most pre-med students do. My first year I did great, made straight A's, made the dean's list, all that good stuff. Then my second.
So if you're pre-med or you're just getting out from high school and you're about to go to college, so please do not make the mistake of I'll say majoring in biology, because that's, like she said, what almost all pre-meds do, and it does not make you competitive. That's kind of like what I've heard from most people around me. So it does not make you competitive, because almost everybody's have the same major as you. So try to choose something probably related to medicine, or if it's not related to medicine, it's something that you genuinely enjoy. But know that you will have to take those prerequisites if those classes are not included in what you really enjoy, and choose as a major. So choose something that you genuinely enjoy and try to make projects and learn more about it, instead of just go into the common thing, which is go and choose biology as a major. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Year came around and I started to really hate my classes. I think I was taking organic chemistry, and I was taking I don't remember, it was some other few sciences. I think I was taking physics, maybe, I'm not sure, but it was a bunch of different sciences, and I was only taking that and psychology and I think an art or something. And I remember just being miserable. That's the first time in my life where I ever was depressed. I gained 20 pounds, no exaggeration. All the extracurricular clubs that I was in my freshman year, I quit. I literally.
This is a red flag. So if you do not enjoy the classes that you're taking for your major, and you already know what you're going to use your major for, so this might be a pretty good and clear indication that the plan that you might have for yourself is not something that you will enjoy, and you might actually consider it your plan and explore other things than what you want, because it's genuinely not what you're interested into. And those classes like organic chemistry, general chemistry, and physics, they're reading classes. I'm not gonna say reading because you have to read, but from somebody that I was talking to, they said that those classes are the classes that you a pre-med can use to know whether or not you like it, because they're science heavy and there's a lot of content that you'll have to review. And that's pretty much like the same spirit for a first year, maybe second year of medical student, because there's a lot of content that you firsthand need to know, need to learn before you actually start doing things. So if you just do not enjoy those classes, so it might be different things. So it might be the teacher that you have and you just genuinely do not like the way that they teach, or it might be you and the time that you choose to take the class, or it just might be you not enjoying the class for no apparent reason and no given reason. So if you do not enjoy the class, take a step back and ask yourself and try to be honest with yourself and try to find the reason why you do not enjoy the class, because this can be a clear indication of whether or not you should pursue medicine, or whether or not you need to make more effort and invest more time on what you're doing.
Just in my apartment, and I was an RA at the time, so I just worked and was in my apartment and I ate. It was the first time in my life that I didn't go to classes consistently. Like, there was a point where I would only go to like 2 classes a week. It was bad. And again, that was the semester that I made my first B. The only class I actually even like enjoyed, like genuinely enjoyed, was psychology. And I've always been like a brain type of person, so I found the subject very interesting. So I was like, okay, what if I change my major to psychology? Because I'm not enjoying my biology major. And I remember talking to my dad, and he convinced me not to do it, which in the long run was a good thing to do, because if I majored in psychology, I wouldn't have taken all the pre-med courses I needed to be applicable for med school, and also to be...
There is a lot of psych major who apply to med school and actually got in. So it's just like you deciding to do psychology or take psychology as a major, and then also deciding to take your prerequisite classes, because you know at the end of the day you will need those. So, and there is like no way around it. So if you genuinely do not like biology, so I think, I'm not saying that it's gonna be like the general thing for everybody, but I think that medicine might not be something for you. So if you're trying to avoid biology or trying like to get around it, so that might be also an indication.
Prepared for the MCAT, so right now I ended up just getting a minor in psychology, but I still, like, as the years went by, I hated my classes. Some subjects were sort of interesting to me, but not passionate. I couldn't see myself doing them. It was just interesting to learn about or hear about. While I was in college, I did notice that I didn't do anything pre-med wise. I didn't join any groups. I didn't meet with a pre-med counselor. I didn't know anything about like a timeline to start studying for the MCAT or to get my applications ready, looking at schools I might want to go to and figuring out.
See, this is one of the reasons why I really like watching those kind of videos, because she's talking about what she did and how she did differently from what almost everybody else is doing out there. And it's really interesting to see how she got into med school, and also I'll say get all her prerequisites done, knowing that she did not do what almost everybody else is doing, like, you know, getting those hours and do all the stuff. So she did not do that, and right now I'm gonna let her speak and find out how she got into med school, because the way that she's talking right now, there is no way that she could have get into med school, but she actually did. So I'm gonna let her talk and see what she said.
What I need to do, getting experience. I didn't do anything. And I feel like that was kind of a testament to how dispassionate I was about going to medical school, because I didn't care. Most students who are pre-med and really set on going to med school from the beginning, they start out like really like going hard with pre-med, trying to be the best applicant they can be. This was so bad that I didn't even realize that I could graduate early until like the semester before. It was my 3rd year of college, and I realized I could graduate at the end of that summer, which I did. I graduated college in 3 years. By the time I realized that, everything was already too late to even try to apply for medical school for the following year. So I kind of had no choice but to take a gap year and work on...
That's what I'm talking about. So actually, she did take a gap year to get those things done, because there is literally no way to get into med school without any clinical hours and like, you know, those regular things that we actually as people need to do. So I thought that she did not do any of this and applied to med school and just got in, because I was like, what the heck? But she actually took a gap year to get those things done. which is a possibility for those people who did not do that. And I actually kind of like did it the way that she did, because you know, you have to work, you have a family, and yeah. So if you're considering taking the gap year, it might be one of the best things that you can do for yourself and give yourself more chances to actually get into med school. So yeah.
My application and then apply for the following year, which happened to be last year. Even then, like, even though I knew, okay, I need to start my application now for the year after, I didn't until the spring semester before I graduated. I had already missed out on some stuff that I needed for my application, like a letter of recommendation packet. I was behind on the MCAT. I hadn't even started studying for the MCAT till maybe like 2 months before I took it. I didn't get the score that I wanted. Everything was just very rushed because I had waited to the last minute, and looking back, it's just because I wasn't passionate about going. I applied to medical school, and then I got a job during my gap year as a scribe to just gain experience. And while I was a scribe, I started off as a scribe in the ER, and the more I was there for about 2 months, the more I realized like I couldn't see myself doing this. I saw some of the grossest procedures and things like that, and from a spectator's point of view, it looks cool, but like actually seeing myself doing that, I couldn't. I'm super introverted, first of all, and I hate touching people, so that should have been like a red flag like off the bat. And then I ended up being a scribe. Later on, I got transferred to a virtual scribe for I think it was a PCP, so a primary care physician. She was so nice, but like her job in and of itself was like boring. It was like literally the same thing every single day, the same types of patients with the same types of issues, and it was just very like repetitive, and I just could not see myself doing it at all. Fast forward, get to medical school, and of course,
yeah, I'm laughing right now because she is making me laugh, like saying the procedures are gross. So I kind of get it, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, if I'm seeing somebody cutting somebody else, like a surgeon cutting somebody else open, I will literally be like, oh yeah, that's so cool, I wanna do it too. But I know that I can't get the scalpel until I graduate and get all my credentials and actually know what I'm doing. So I'm just watching, and I like what it's doing, and I do not have to tell myself to like it or force myself to do it, but it's just like me generally liking what it's doing. But it's interesting to see that she never actually really liked those things, but she still kept going and kept doing it, which kind of make me wonder why. What is the reason why she really went through all that, and why she did not stop earlier. So let's just keep watching.
I'm very excited. It's my first year, new experience, new city. You know, keep in mind, I was living at home at 21 for an entire year. So like going from that to like getting my own apartment, being in a different city, you know, having that freedom finally, like I was very, very excited. I just remember like my first day, it was fun, you know, orientation. I got to dress up cute, like everything was great. And then stuff started to hit. Workload started to happen. The balance between, you know, social media, my business, and school. The amount of coursework was insane. The amount of material you have to learn for a college final is the same amount of material, probably more, on an actual like exam. And the thing is, it's gonna be a lot for everybody, but it's 10 times harder when you're not passionate about it. One of the things that really threw me off of medical school was my anatomy lab, where you had to dissect a cadaver. And some of the things that I had to do,
Oh my
some of the
God.
things that I had to
I can say that she already, this thing, she disliked it. I can tell.
see was very traumatic, and I could not, I'm sorry, I had a loss for words. It was just, I hated it. If you follow me on TikTok, I had a live where I did talk about it, so some of y'all may be familiar, but I don't want to get like demonetized or my video taken down just for like anything I say about that. If y'all want that on a live or something, just let me know and I'll do it on a different platform. I definitely wish I never would have done it, and I kind of wish that I could remove it from my memory. So, you know, going through the semester, it's hard. Like, I'm struggling. It's new. I've never had to learn this much material and still have to go to class and do this and do that, and it was just a lot. But of course, you know, I thugged it out. You know, I'm a G. I'm not gonna quit. I don't give up. So I ended up, you know, passing my semester just fine. I got a couple of A's, couple of B's, couple of C's. C's get degrees. And then, you know, know, I had a break for Christmas. We only got about 3 weeks off. Something happened to me over the break. I can't really describe it. I just dreaded coming back to school. Everything I had gone through that semester, I didn't want to have to repeat. Just like that mental stress and pressure and all that. I had this friend in medical school. We got really close my first semester because every single day, like, I would go over to her house and we would study together. So it's a new semester over at her house studying, and she's like, okay, Brittany, what's wrong? Because you not acting like yourself, like, what's going on? And I'm like, you know, I don't want to do this. And when I said that, I was referring to like just not wanting to study, not feeling like having all this work on me, not feeling like going through all this like pressure and stress again for another like 4 months. That's what I was referring to. And then she basically told me, well, why don't you just leave? She was joking just to kind of like snap me out of the mood. My response should have been, no, you're right, let's keep going, I'm not about to leave. But when she said that, like, it clicked. Everything I had been feeling over the break and everything kind of just like light bulb. That's not something I had ever considered before until she said it, and I was like, what if I do? That kind of set off like a chain of events. You know, a month had gone by since we had that conversation, and I just remember like really thinking about it and like thinking about how my life would be if I did leave. I was like, okay, now it's time to go to God, because I'm thinking about this way more than I should be, and if this is something that I'm really like thinking about doing, I need to like ask God about it, because I don't know if this is just a temporary feeling or just a spiritual attack from the devil just trying to throw me off my game. I kind of sense in myself like this isn't like a joke, like this is something I really need to pray about. So for the first time in my life, I did a fast. If you know me in real life, you know I love meat. Like, I'm a steak and potatoes type of girl. I gave up meat for 6 weeks. I gave up all secular music for 6 weeks, which is hard because I love Mulatto, I love Summer Walker, and I was in my word every single day. I started Proverbs because that's the book of wisdom, and I really needed to get some wisdom on how to make this choice in my life. My plan was just to do the fast until I got an answer from God, but it only lasted 6 weeks because I remember it was, I think, March 17th, and I was watching my Sunday sermon, and all of a sudden God was just like, yeah, you need to do it. Once I got that answer, I was very scared, but deep down I was okay. On the surface, I was like, what the heck, my life is now about to change. The stability I have has just been wiped from under my feet, but deep down I knew like, it's okay, he has me. I just remember telling my...
Alright guys, so I think I'll have to do like a part 2 for this because 7:59 I actually need to go to work. So I stop it like at 13:32. So I'll actually do a note and put it in. Because I generally need to leave right now. So I'll just put it like part 2 and stop at 13:32. So part 2 will be shorter and I can actually like go through it without thinking about the time. So I really enjoy doing it. I will do the part 2 probably later once I'll be done studying, and that's pretty much it.